Canada's ambassador to the U.S., Kirsten Hillman, is stepping down. Ambassador Hillman was appointed to the role in 2020 and was the first woman to serve in that position. She says that she will remain available to Canada's trade negotiating team for the next couple of months. For a closer look at what this means for the future of negotiations with the U.S., I'm joined by Lori Turnbull. Lori is a professor of political science at Dalhousie University. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So Ambassador Hillman spoke with CTV News last night about her decision to step down. Let's take a listen to that.
We are moving to a phase of our discussions with the United States with the CUSMA review, the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Trade Agreement review. That's going to start up in the new year. And I think it's important that we have someone in place that is going to be here through the conclusion of those discussions.
So, Lori, what do you think about the timing to step down at such a critical moment with trade negotiations?
Well, it sounds to me, because we're heading into this renegotiation with CUSMA, and clearly there's a lot of uncertainty around that. Whether the president even wants to continue with this is not guaranteed at all at this point. Clearly, this is going to take a long time, and I think Ambassador Hillman is basically saying, I was planning to leave in 2026 anyway. This is not, if she waits and leaves, for example, in the middle of 2026, it's going to cause disruption on the Canada side in terms of trying to replace her in that moment. And so if she's decided she's going to step away, it's better for her and for everyone for her to step aside more quickly so that they're able to replace her before CUSMA negotiations get up and off in earnest.
And do you agree with that? What do you think?
Of course, absolutely. I mean, I think she's doing what's best for Canada. She's trying to make it so that the Prime Minister can fill this position and have the person get going in January, right? So that the person that the Trump administration negotiates with as our ambassador is consistent throughout.
Let's talk about her time as ambassador. What have been some of her biggest accomplishments?
Well, I mean, she was involved in the negotiations. She was an ambassador at the time, but she was involved in negotiations for the first round of CUSMA with the Trump administration. And I think, that really put her in a really unique position to be able to approach the role as ambassador. And of course, her role in that time was not only with Trump, it was also with President Biden. But I think at this point, the question is really, of course, in addition to her own calculations about what she wants to do with her career, there's also, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with a new person in the role as we get into these new conversations. I mean, we heard in the U.S. last week, they had some hearings about the future of this trade deal between the three countries. And what President Trump heard from people in the industries and things like that was, don't scrap it. We might want to make some changes, but let's not throw the whole thing out because we benefit. And so let's see what happens with it. And I wonder what the effect will be of a new person. And it's not necessarily going to be, it's not for better or for worse. It's a question of what would a new person do and how will that affect the negotiations, if at all.
I want to ask you about new person. Who might be taking her place?
So that was, to be honest, my first question after hearing that the ambassador was going to step aside was, okay, now who is the Prime Minister going to get to replace? And I wonder who he's got in mind. And so it sounds like that person, although it's not confirmed at all, but it sounds like the person is Mark Wiseman, who is someone who's been involved. He's a finance person. He is an investments person. He is somebody who was part of an initiative with Dominic Barton to say that Canada's population should grow quite significantly through immigration by the year 2100 in order to be able to keep Canada's economy competitive. And so he's somebody who certainly has, I would say, a lot in common with a Prime Minister in terms of having spent his career in finance. And so it's interesting to see the Prime Minister taking that approach to this appointment at this point.
Well, Lori Turnbull, we appreciate your time on this. Thank you.
Thank you, too. Take care.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.